Councillors, members of the public and staff present in person and watching online this evening, welcome to the June 2026 Ordinary Meeting of Strathfield Council. This meeting will be conducted under the provisions of the Local Government Act 1993 and Council's adopted Code of Meeting Practice. Specifically, persons in the gallery are advised they may not record the proceeding of a meeting of a council or committee without the authority of the council or committee. Mobile phones must be turned to silent so as to not disrupt the meeting. Using mobile phones to record the meeting, whether audio or visual, is not permitted. This meeting is live streamed and a recording will be made available on Council's website to allow the community to follow Council's debates and decisions. Members of the public attending agree to have their image, voice and personal information, including name and address, recorded and publicly broadcast. Strathfield Council does not accept liability for any defamatory remarks or inappropriate comments that are made during the course of a meeting. Any part of the meeting that is held in closed session will not be streamed. Could all in the chambers please stand if you are able for the Mayor of Strathfield.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Now you can resume your seat.
should make that edit.
Oh, we did. Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
just to let you know that I can't stand for any of the motions tonight.
No, it's fine. Understand. Thank you for coming on site. Okay. Originally, we thought we were going to pass the motion for you to stay home. Thank you. The time being 6:32, I declare the ordinary council meeting of 30 of June 2026 open. Councillors, I will remind you of your obligation to faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities, and discretions vested under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of your ability and judgment, and as chair, will call you to order should there be need to do so. I would now like to ask everyone who is able to stand for the moment of reflection. We pray that our deliberations today will be objective and the decisions are impartial and made for the benefit of the whole community. Let's begin by acknowledging the Wango people, the traditional custodians of the land which this meeting is being held. We pay respect to the elders past, present, and emerging. Thank you. You now can all resume your seats. There's no apologies. Councillors, I will ask you to make any disclosure of interest for the matters on the agenda. If you do have a disclosure, I request that you raise your hand, and then I will call upon you. Please stand and clearly state the item, the nature of the conflicts, and what action you will take. I have three. I'll start it, and I'll call upon you to do so accordingly. Okay. Firstly, I got a 10.8. I have not particularly significant, and because I live in the Holmes West, and not far from my home, and I will leave the room and leave the deputy chair to chair the meeting at the motion. And I also have EO1 and EO2, also was near my home, and for the safety issues, I will declare not pecuniary and not significant, so I will stay in the chamber. That's all for me, and any other councillors? Councillor Northworthy?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. For item CCS2, I have a non-pecuniary significant interest. Two of the small grant conferees are part of my employer or my employment, so I will leave the room for that item. And I have a non-pecuniary, non-significant interest for 10.11 and 10.18. They're kind of the same one. I am a Lime Bike member so much as I have the app and they have my credit card details. I'll remain in the room for those items.
Any other councillor? Councillor King?
Council Northwest, I just remembered. The small grant, there is a medical who is Korean community, but it's not non-pecuniary, non-significant.
Which one, John?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. 10.4 for me is non-pecuniary significance, so I'll leave the room. And same as CCS2, the Interact Club of Homebush Boys is associated with the Rotary Club, and I've been involved in the past, so I'll leave for that as well. It's also non-pecuniary but significant.
Any other councillors? Councillor Bramall?
Yep, so non-pecuniary, non-significant for 10.16. I own a number of cafe owners in the area. My employer also owns a cafe. It doesn't directly affect these people, just about a standard procedural matter, so I'll stay in the room for that one. And then 12.2, I'm employed in the town centre of Strathfield. I know a number of business owners and landowners there. This doesn't directly impact me, so I will stay in the meeting for that one as well.
Thank you, councillor. Any other disclosure of interest? Okay, acknowledgement. Councillors, the purpose of acknowledgement is to recognize the many great contributions that are made from and for our community. In that spirit, we should ensure that the positive comments are provided for the public record. Councillor Barati?
Just a point of order, Mr Mayor. Councillors Nosworthy and Pennsylvania have been speaking the entire time you've been speaking. Just I'll go in their direction if possible.
Point of order for both of you. You do it.
Just a question quickly, Mr Mayor. I just declared a point of order for the councillors. Could you please point to which part of the code of meeting practice that they've breached?
Again, okay, the second point of order. All right, okay, for the...
Can you check the
Just a point of order against, I think, the Mayor yourself. You haven't actually answered a previous point of order. I don't know if we can go to a second point of order if one's not being dealt with, but we're just requesting an answer on my point of order and Councillor Blackmore's point of order. Thank you.
Okay, Okay, firstly, I think the Councillor Pensabini and the Councillor Roseworthy was chatting when I'm talking. Okay, that's the point of order. And Councillor Bramall, what's your point of order
Oh, my question was what point of order was their point of order?
If I can clarify my point of order, which will answer his point of order. Mr. Mayor, my point of order is that the councillors were contravening clause 6.9 of the Code of Meeting Practice, which says that the chair has precedence, that all other councillors must stop speaking when the mayor is speaking. Just to clarify, councillor.
Thank you, councillor. You're very, very good with the rules.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing you back in that chair. All right.
Okay, I personally, I would like to acknowledge all the staff that work at the Strathfield Library. They work tirelessly to deliver and support our community. The Strathfield Library hosts many interesting exhibitions and hosts a variety of activities for people of all ages. Especially for those kids and the seniors residents, providing a place where our community can come together and connect and feel warm as well. Thank you, and thank you. And also I want to acknowledge, our council support the Cook River Fun Run. And I think that's a wonderful event. And personally, I was run for 5 kilometers, and I finished that. Thank you.
An achievement in itself.
I think Councillor Northrody was.
Did, yeah, I might as well. I think you beat me by about 30 seconds. I started about 5 minutes late due to family commitments, but on net time, you did beat me by 30 seconds, so congratulations, and see you next year.
Thank you, Councillor Northrody. And Councillor...
Firstly, we've just had an acknowledgement by the mayor of himself, and then Councillor Nosworthy of the mayor. That's the first time for everything. But I'd just like to acknowledge that yesterday was Councillor Blackmore's birthday, and without publicising what he turned, I think just the quick maths off the top of my head is that you've now spent almost a quarter of your life on this council. So congratulations on the milestone, and happy birthday, Councillor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I have an acknowledgement.
Yeah. You can sit there.
I wish to acknowledge NAIDOC Week, which starts next Monday, the 6th of July. The official theme for this year is 50 Years of Deadly, which marks a milestone celebrating 5 decades of Indigenous voices, cultures and community-led movements. This 50-year milestone honours the elders, organisers, artists and communities who have sustained the movement and shaped strong, resilient First Nations communities over the last half-century. I look forward to seeing all our residents at the NAIDOC celebration at our library next Monday at 2 p.m. And as you all know, that NAIDOC celebration is always something to look forward to because it's a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. All right, let's go to the confirmation of minutes. Thank you. Seconded by, was moved by Councillor Reddy, was seconded by Councillor Baradi. Thank you. Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. And last month, we have one extraordinary council meeting on 2nd of June 2026. Kenneth Mover, Councillor Reddy, seconder, Councillor Baradi. Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. Hello, councillors. Now we go to the mayoral minutes. I got one mayoral minute.
Yeah.
Okay. About adoption of Friendship City policy.
Wow. Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Don't worry.
That's right.
Anybody want to speak for or against the motion? If I now put the motion to the vote, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Kim, Councillor Barbie, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor Bramall, Councillor Northworthy, and Councillor Pensabeni. I declare motion carried. Now we are going to the exemption motion in accordance with the section 13 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice. Items can be dealt with by exception, and they can be adopted as recommended by a single motion. Before we determine moving matters by exception, councillors have been advised that Councillor King would like to withdraw motion 10.20 and 10.21.
10.21.
21 only, is it? Okay.
20 and 21?
Did you say 20?
10, 20, 10, 20.
You said both.
Both of them?
10.20 was
10.21
10 point
withdrawn.
withdrawn, and the 10.20 is we stay.
Oh, 10, 20 will
It out
stay.
now.
Yeah. 10.21 withdrawn. Thank you, Councillor. Now I will call on item by item to decide which one is for exemption. 10.1, 10.2,
Good.
10.3, 10.4,
Out.
4 out.
okay, 10.5,
Out.
10.6, 10.7,
Out.
10.8, has to come out, okay. 10.9,
Out.
10.10,
Out.
why? Okay, 10.11,
Out.
10.12, 10.13,
Out.
10.14.
Out.
At 7:30.
That'll be quick.
10.15,
Out.
Out.
10.16,
Out.
10.17,
Out.
7:30, Sandy.
10.18, out.
I think, yeah, I feel like we're going to have to make amends. them.
Out. 18 also out.
Yeah, 18 out, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, 10.19,
Out.
10.20,
Out.
okay, 10.21 is, withdrawn already.
No, not quite.
LC1,
Can't do it.
Hang on, let me,
Councillor.
catch it up.
LC1, LC2,
Sorry.
LC2 is current status of council's resolutions. Okay, LC3,
Out.
CCS1,
Out.
CCS2,
Has to be out.
CCS3,
Has to be out.
CCS4,
CCS
Oh, the
3.
investment, sorry, CCS 2.
CCS 2 out, CCS 3 in.
Put 3 back in.
CCS3, okay, yeah. CCS4,
Out.
CCS5,
Out.
CCS6, PE1,
Out.
PE2, PE3,
Out.
EO1,
Out. Out.
EO2,
Out.
EO3,
Out.
12.1, 12.2,
Out.
Out.
12.3,
Out.
It's only minutes.
12.4,
You're allowed to talk about the minutes.
out. Oh, really, tonight, everybody want to be here at 8 o'clock. All right, councillors, can I move for the
I'll
motion?
move it.
Thank you, can I have a seconder? Councillor, moved by Councillor Reddy, and seconded by Councillor Baladi. Okay. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand and declare motion carried unanimously. Okay. Okay, 10.4. Councillors,
I move it.
move it. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Paul Roy.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pensapini and seconded by Councillor Northworthy.
Correct.
Councillors, does anyone would like to speak for or against the motion?
He's declared a conflict.
You declare a conflict.
If not, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Bramall, Councillor Northworthy, and Councillor Sabini. Against? Councillor King, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Chai, and I use my casting vote to vote against it. I declare the motion was lost.
I don't want to talk about costs.
Which one? Okay. 10.5. Okay, next item is 10.5.
Moved by
Can I?
James. 10.5.
5.5.
Oh, yeah.
Moved by
second.
Councillor Baradi, seconded by Councillor Reddy. Anyone wish to speak for or against this motion?
This is 10.5.
At all?
Should, yeah.
Then put it in.
I'm happy to just quickly say something. Just, look, this is an issue that keeps coming up. I think council law is all very aware. We don't need to, flog this any further. But essentially, the idea here is to keep. I mean, the school is currently not in line with state government practices when it comes to child protection, and there's nothing they can do to solve that other than close their gates, which they're not allowed to do because of this organisation and our stance on things, which is fine.
And the other gates.
Sorry.
And the other gates.
Nonetheless, the school, I think this is a good outcome we can investigate. We're seeking a report into what we can do to close it at least during school hours, to at least bring them up to state standards.
Okay, Councillor. Now,
Oh, sorry, I'll quickly just speak against it. I'll obviously be voting against this.
so next time, wait until allow you to stand up.
Oh, sorry, you got the red cape and the
Okay.
chain on, sorry. Here you go, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
I can talk?
Councillor Bremo?
Can I talk?
Yeah, you can talk now.
Obviously, I'll be voting against this one. This is a community asset, and there's a long historical situation on this one where the community was taken advantage of in the past. So to give away this asset by allowing the restriction is basically, once again, ripping the community off. So, I've supported previously for the St Pat's to purchase this right of way and to extinguish it. We have a valuation. They're not coming to the party.
Thank you, councillor. Councillor Panspermini.
Yes, I won't be supporting this either. It's not only the hours of school hours that they want it locked, they want it locked for the weekend as well. I mean, and once you go into a situation where you say, yes, you can lock it during school hours, then they'll want more. So you give them an inch and they'll take a mile, and they'll want to close it for the whole weekend as well. So until some sort of negotiation can happen between the school and council to make sure that everyone's happy with the cost of the sale of that land, I don't think we'll ever get to a situation where that's going to be a problem. There's going to be a continuing problem until that's
Are
happened.
you going to amend the motion or not?
No.
Okay. Thank you, councillor.
Please go to.
Yeah.
My right of reply, thank you, just before we go to the vote. Look, just on what the councillor said, firstly, she's asked for a consultation. That's actually in the motion. If she's not read it, I'll refer her to point 2, consultation with St Patrick's College. The council's also mentioned the sale of land. The land is owned by St Patrick's College. Council maintains a right of way over it. The land is not council's land. And also this is seeking to close it in school hours. I don't know what the assumption is that they're going to seek to close it at other times. If council is able to extinguish between certain times right of way, the right of way will continue to exist at all other times. So if the school is in breach of that, and there can be consequences, but that's not what's being sought here. So I just want to remind the councillor to read motions before she speaks against them. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Mayor.
councillor. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand.
Just giving away.
Councillor Kim, Councillor Barty, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Chai, against? Councillor Bramore, Councillor Northworthy, and Councillor Panspermini. I declare motion.
We've got no clue. We've got no idea. No idea.
Councillors, it's not the talking time, okay?
It is.
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. Just again, Councillor Blackmore being in contravention of 6.9 of the Code of Meeting Practice relating to the precedence that you have when you are speaking, other councillors ought not to speak.
Okay, that's a warning. Okay, now we are going to 10.7. West.
Mr. Mayor, just another point of order against Councillor Nosworthy for speaking while you're speaking.
He wasn't speaking to anyone.
May I just respond? I'm just updating where we're up to, just make sure we're all on the same page as you're deciding.
You can ask the chair, not talk to your neighbour councillors.
Unfortunately, the chair sometimes takes.
That's not reason. That's a second warnings. Okay, going 10.7. Can I have a mover? Councillor Barty, if seconded by Councillor Reddy. Hi, councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Councillor Northworthy.
I just feel it might need a slightly more specific location stated, because it just says between Homebush West and Flemington Station. I could argue that's about 3 steps. So I guess maybe if you just want to list what streets you're thinking of, which would probably have my support.
Councillor Barty.
In particular, and thank you for finding that error. In particular, I'm referring to the other side of Marlborough Road. So anyone walking from places like Corrali and whatnot over the mentioned bridge and through those footpaths that are adjacent to the train line on the southern side, so the Crescent. So it's that general walking path. A lot of people live anywhere between that stretch of the Crescent over the bridge to the other side of Marlborough Road. So it's to liven up that rather derelict part of, or those derelict parts of public assets. So just to amend accordingly, happy to see it change where it says between Homebush West to say between parts of Homebush West, and then after West, for it to say West with a lowercase w. No, sorry. Keep that, uppercase W, and then west again of Marlborough Road. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor, does anybody wish to speak for or against the motion?
Just one, there should be a comma following road. Thank you. Otherwise it makes no sense.
All right. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Declare motion carried unanimously. We are going to 10.8, and for this motion, I will let the chair to chair this motion. I will step out of the chamber.
Councillors, now we are at the motion 10.8, Future Public Space Acquisition Strategy, Homebush West. Can I have a mover?
Oh, sorry.
Second.
Can I, moved by Councillor Baladi, seconded by Councillor Kim. Would any councillors like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, it just feels strikingly similar to a report we have, EO1, that similarly locates potential and sets a budget for acquisition in that area. So I'm not sure we need to double down on that. Maybe a slightly more targeted motion would be suitable, because obviously it goes beyond just parks, which is what I think EO1's about. But yeah, I think all of that information already exists. Well, sorry, not all of it, the vast majority of it already exists.
Thank you, Councillor Nosworthy. Councillor Baladi, would you like to?
Well, two things. Thank you, Councillor Nosworthy, for pointing that out. It does, EO1 does start by saying receives a note to the NOM, so acknowledging that the NOM is in line with what the suggestion is in the report. Also acknowledging that the NOM was submitted before the report was publicly available, so nice to know that staff are sort of thinking ahead, have visions of aligning with councillors.
I feel like it was a previous NOM, I might be wrong.
I don't know if it's the NOM that they're referring to now, but nonetheless, my point about it being aligning is still valid. The previous NOM also came from me, nonetheless, I believe. Anyhow, my point here, and the reason why this NOM I think is important, is that it specifically says where we do need more public space. So it's less broad and more specific in prescribing that. And no one's listening anyway. One person's on their phone, these guys are whispering. Don't know what's going on here, so I'll just sit down. Thanks, Councillor.
So whispering? Or are you withdrawing?
No.
Just got pulled over a question.
Councillor Blackmore.
Yeah, just a question, just through the chair, whether, like, obviously we have our contributions plans, and whether does this double up on our contributions plans at all? Or if we do it in conjunction with those plans or updating those plans?
Through you, Chair. I think it is contributory towards those plans and will provide us, it adds to the contribution of those plans.
Okay.
It should be noted that the Homebush 712 plan has been vetted, so that is closed, and some final work will be happening on the LGA wide plan.
Fantastic.
I'll just make one last amendment, which is that it says Homebush West for some reason in the title. That's my error. It should just say Homebush, or maybe Homebush and Homebush West. I can't change the title. I think that's fine. Don't worry about
We
it.
can't change the title.
That's the motion.
Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Carried out unanimously. Thank you, councillors.
Please stand. It's not easy.
Councillors, we are going to item 10.9, the mover, Councillor Baladi. And can I have a seconder? Oh, okay, I second it. All right. Councillors, would you now like to speak for or against the motion?
To hear you, Councillor.
As mover, Well, I'm expecting councillors Nosworthy and Pensabene to be enthusiastically supportive of this idea, of course. The idea of bringing a shuttle bus back to Homebush West is because of the failure of the state government to intervene. I mean, they've had over a year now of there being no service. We were told at the time that there would be all these sorts of interventions and that we just needed to lobby a little bit more for their support. Still have nothing. It's clearly cost shifting that took place in the first place, down to council. Council no longer funds it and has absolutely no obligation to fund it. But this is trying to find a compromise where private business can sponsor something, if possible, that could find a good solution for the people living in that area. Ideally, the way this would work, as is prescribed, is that we put an EOI out to say, is anyone interested, once we've discovered what costs will be, and if that EOI fails, we don't proceed with it. But if there's interest in the community, or business community, for people to sponsor a service, then we can go ahead with it.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other councillor wish to speak of? Oh, Councillor Belmont?
Yeah, look, I'm definitely not supportive of another community bus to put us in a financial position that our rates have to increase 93% again. But I would like to make an amendment if Councillor Barty is open to it, just to point 7, I think it is. So just point 7, include in this investigation liaison with Transport New South Wales or relevant authorities regarding the extension of the 407 bus route to a stop on Marlborough Road in front of Austin Park. This is something that was raised in council about 13 years ago, and the councillors back then actually went on a trip. So this one, the bus I think comes up Arthur Street and somewhere to do with the cemetery as well. So the councillors back then actually went on a bus trip, and they looked at it whether they can go down there, have a stop, and then come back, loop back up on the other side. And Transport for New South Wales at the time said that it was a viable option, and the councillors then pushed for more and then pushed for their own bus and things like that. I just think this is probably something, if it was something that was a potential solution back then, that we should at least look at it again 13 years later.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Pensabene?
I've got to stand.
How to have it.
Yes, look, after the...
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. The amendment's been suggested. I accept the amendment. If the seconder does.
All right. Councillor Barty?
Can I speak now? I don't know when I can speak and when I can't speak.
Poor meeting management.
Thank you.
Dictatorship.
Well, isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? After the fight that Councillor Nosworthy and I had to try and keep one bus for Homebush West...
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. The timer's not running and we're all watching it very intently. So. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor Pensabene, you can start now.
Isn't this absolutely amazing that this motion has come forward after you've realised that Homebush West is in need of a bus? Homebush West has always been in need of the bus to get children to school and to the station. And as you know, Councillor Chai, Homebush West have been putting up with this for the last, I don't know how long. The Liberal government that was in before this government privatised the buses, and they stopped services that stopped from Homebush West to Homebush Station. So there was a great need, and we provided that need when we put in the connector. I just need to ask a question to our General Manager. General Manager, do we have any buses left?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Currently, we do not have any buses left. We have sold all.
And through the General Manager, through the Chair to the General Manager, did we sell these buses at a profit to Council or at a loss to Council?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So technically, it would have been at a loss given the original purchase price, and we did own them for several years.
Right.
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. I now put, we've had two speeches from Councillor Pensabene with questions on either end of them. Considering the time started and stopped on the two occasions, I now procedural motion to put the motion to a vote.
You can,
Okay. All right.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. Let me just get my correction number. Ooh, where's it gone? I believe under clause 6.9, and that may have changed, you know, the back and forth of our codes of meeting practice, that we need 2 speakers for and 2 speakers against before it can be put to a vote. And I don't believe we've had anywhere near enough.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. So you have to deal with that point of order first.
What kind of point order?
Hang on, you've got to deal with this one first. Because that one's more urgent.
One.
Councillor Blackmore didn't go against the motion. He just amended the motion.
It says 2 for and 2 against.
Yeah, but we haven't had 2 for and 2 against. We've only had 1 against.
Oh, okay.
And you don't know whether I'm against or not against. Because you wouldn't let me speak. Why did you say it at the start?
You've had 2 for and 1 against. Okay, Councillor Northworthy, your order is taken, and you can continue to speak.
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. Can I get clarification through this point of order from the staff? We've had Councillor Pensabene start a speech, ask a question, it was answered. We then went to a second speech by Councillor Pensabene, which was also against. Now that can count as one, but which I think is being signalled by the staff, but the timer has started and stopped on both occasions. So are we counting them as separate speeches or the one speech? Because in which case, we're not following our own regulations around time. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, at the time at which it was stopped, it was 4 minutes 30 when the first question was asked. So there's 4 minutes 30 remaining of the allocation of time for the speaker against at this stage. So we could get the clock to 4:30 and... Yep.
Waiting for that to say 4:30.
30 seconds.
I've got 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 minutes 30 left.
4 minutes 30.
Okay.
So Councillor Noseworthy and I tried to stop the sale of these buses so many times, and unfortunately the 4 votes made it possible for it to be sold. Just to remind you all, and Councillor Chai, you were amongst those sellings of the buses, and that's your Homebush West community. So the proposal to get a sponsor in this motion, do you really know the history of the connector, Councillor Bellardi? I don't know whether you know that history, because for 3 years, when we first started the bus in 2018, we tried to get a sponsor to sponsor the bus without any success whatsoever. So you're going to make our council officers spend more time and more money trying to find sponsors. Do you think our council officers just sit around twiddling their thumbs all day long? They work very hard. And to have this motion go through, it's a complete and utter hoax on your part, Councillor Bellardi. Another note. Oh, we sold our buses at a loss. What great economics that is to our council. And I hope this gets videoed all the way through and how you waste our money. I can only think this motion should be withdrawn so we don't have to vote on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he left the room.
Councillor, any other, Councillor Kim?
I'm against this motion. I'm against it because as a councillor, we have to, when we have a vote and motions, we have to be more prudent and more careful. When we decide, I remember also what she said, we have a very long talk and we killed this motion before. And also Homebush Bay boundary, we killed the one, this one withdrawn. For a long time, we discussed a lot of public forum there and such a long...
Go ahead.
Such a long argument, but finally we withdraw this one. So our other residents, when they see us, the councillors, whenever they think they put motion and they withdrawing and they have killed the motion and will bring it again, I don't want to show us as a stupid, no care or careless. Sorry, my word is, I don't find it. So I'm against this motion. Okay?
Thank you, Councillor. What's her name is Councillor?
It's his motion.
And how about Councillor Pensapini?
She needed to leave the room. She needed to leave the room.
Of this motion?
No, I don't know why.
Oh, okay. She left. Okay. And then Baradi is not coming back?
No, he's here. Come on,
Oh,
put
okay.
it forward.
It's still up there.
All right. And now,
It's still up there.
to be frankly, for the shuttle bus, I think, you know, we try some other way to put, you know, Corelli Avenue to be single way that will bring the state government to bring the bus in, but it actually is not accepted by the community. But anyway, we try our service already. And Councillor Northworthy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the proposal to turn Corral Avenue into one way. My understanding was that was a result of a bit of a stoush, to be honest, about whether or not the road was wide enough to have a bus. So Councillor Blarty had a bit of a go at me on social media about it being wide enough, and then voted to try and widen it. Then I went to the local transport forum, I believe it was at the time, and they said, well, it's $2 million to widen it, but we could try one way, and obviously that went out to consultation, and unfortunately our residents weren't supportive of that. There was a lot of social media around this. I think, as maybe Councillor Kim pointed to, it has similar situation to maybe the redistricting in terms of the interest and the
Councillor Bramhall? If you have any question, ask me.
I'll withdraw my comment mentioning that it's reminding me of Jim Chalmers flip-flopping on policy.
Thank you. All right, councillors.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, he interrupted me and you told him to stop talking. I wasn't finished. So yeah, I think overall it is important to have a bus. I think the likelihood of getting a sponsor for the bus is very low. As Councillor Pensapini mentioned, we tried to have sponsors in the past and there was no interest, and that was, you know, a partial sponsor. We're looking to cover the whole cost. Which again, on social media, Councillor Blarty told myself and about 130 other people that was $2 million. So unless you're aware of a business willing to put up $2 million to paint the side of a bus, that would be news to me, assuming we couldn't get any sort of sponsorship in the report based in 2023. So again, yeah, we need a bus. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to, I don't think we're going to find a sponsor for that much, or the actual real cost, which is obviously less than that. But based on the fact that they need the public transport, I'm willing to support it. Hopefully it ends quite early in terms of we don't find any interest in sponsoring it, and then we can move on and find a real solution and stop trying to blame sponsors or the state government or whoever else may or may not be involved in transport, and actually take responsibility for our residents as they expect us to. They are ratepayers. And I might end on a question to Mr. Mayor, because there was a question to you, directed to you on WeChat, that basically said if up to 5 other councils can afford to run a bus, and we can't, and we are also raising our rates, can you answer why we can't afford something when our rates are going up significantly?
Councillor Blarty, you.
Well, firstly, just as a right of reply, this is, assuming we're going to the vote now, Mr. Mayor, just to clarify. Okay, well, in my right of reply, I just bring up 2 things. Firstly, Councillor Nosworthy mentioned the multi-million-dollar cost. Clearly, again, as per the previous motion, hasn't read the motion. It's seeking a reduced version of a service that was once there, so a reduced cost. It's also asking for a cost to council to come up with a cost and then go to market with it. So it's just crazy for me to hear that Councillor Nosworthy thinks that this...
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. It's not. That's not language. I'm allowed a point of order, Mr. Mayor. I don't think his language is becoming of this chamber. I'm quoting a number that he quoted back at him. He doesn't like it. He shouldn't
That's not a point of order, that's just a statement.
Can you sit down,
Is now-
start with you with the point of order?
Point of order.
Can you tell me which item in the code of meeting practice?
Not off the top of my head, I only have a limited number of relevant points.
I don't accept it. Okay.
Just thinking about it. Thank you for that interruption, Councillor Nosworthy. It's funny to see when you are so upset about something, how you react. But I also am just astounded, Mr. Mayor, that the two Labor councillors here are telling me that a flip-flop is somehow a bad thing. I mean, if we're all following federal politics now, we should all be acknowledging that sometimes changing your mind is okay, if that's
The Liberals are at 18%.
You know,
Councillor, it's not your
we've
turn.
never had a less popular government, and the way that they're doing things is flip-flopping. If we want to talk about polling, federal polling shows that there's never been a more unpopular Prime Minister in our history. And so maybe flip-flopping is a good thing. We're changing our mind on this. I'm personally changing my mind on nothing here. I'm actually saying that we should go back, because the state government is so hopeless, our state member hasn't once mentioned in Parliament this particular issue, something he said that he would fight for, hasn't, just to check on Councillor Pensabene's welfare, just quickly, just from some of the, are you okay, Councillor, just with the faces you're making?
Am I allowed to talk?
Okay, no, the debate's over. So just clarifying here that any attempt to coin this a flip-flop is ridiculous. It's hypocritical to begin with. But most importantly, it's just a point of order, Mr. Mayor, Councillor
Sabini, you got 4 times already. If you talk one more, I'll request you to go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, the reality here is that we're seeking a report into having a bus sponsored. Now, if the councillors think that's not worth having a bus, which they're expressing at the moment, we don't have to go ahead with it. All we're saying is that if there's some way that this cost can be covered by private sponsorship, let's look at it, because the state MP is doing absolutely nothing about it. He hasn't mentioned it, it's not recorded in Hansard once, he hasn't brought up in Parliament once, he hasn't posted about it or run his ads that he runs so regularly about any issue about a bus in the west of our municipality. Just point of order, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Pensabene just said something.
Talking to myself.
Just a clarification, does that count as talking?
I didn't see it.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, what?
I didn't ask you to
Point of order.
Point of order to you, because I didn't ask you to stand up.
Point of order.
Okay.
He still didn't ask you.
Yeah.
Waiting until he responds.
I haven't asked you to coming up. You got the 3
I'm
times.
still waiting for my point of order.
Please stand up first. Councillor Barry.
I think you have to deal with the point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Can I ask what clause of the Code of Meeting Practice the point of order falls under?
As I said earlier, I believe it's 6.9. It's under section 6 broadly, that councillors can't speak while other councillors are speaking. And Councillor Pensabene was speaking while I was speaking. So that was my point of order, Mr. Mayor. But you've already ruled on that point of order, so further clarification's got nothing to do with it. Anyway.
Focus on your point.
Sure. My point broadly is that there's been a bit of hypocrisy, a few fibs told. Councillor Nosworthy seems to think that because it didn't work a few years ago, 7 years ago or something, it's not going to work today. If they don't want a bus, they can just say broadly today they don't want a bus in Homebush West. That's okay. We're seeking for private sponsorship to look at supporting it if it's possible. If it's not possible, we don't go ahead with it. It's not very complicated. I know it's difficult to understand for some people, but it's actually a rather simple approach to a new policy.
Thank you, councillors. No more debate for this one. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Barry, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai. And against? Councillor Bramall, Councillor Sabini, and Councillor King. I declare the motion carried. Okay, 10.10. Can I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Reddy. Anyone, any councillor wish to speak for or against the motion? Yeah, Councillor Bramall.
Yeah, look, good motion, Mr Mayor. I will just make a couple of amendments if you would be happy to support it. Just in point 1, rather than receive a report, if we can just put prepare a report, because obviously our staff are the ones preparing it, there's no report already done. And then at point 6, I just thought, because you do touch on the next motion, you talk about e-bikes. So I think point 6, if we can just include, so point 6, include e-bikes in this report. Because I think we just obviously look at those safety issues with those e-bikes as well.
Okay.
That's all, if you'll accept
Okay,
that.
I can accept it. Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. Although
Sorry.
it's over already, I asked already. Okay, I now put the motion to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, 10.11. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Bradmore? Any councillor wish to speak for the motion or against the motion?
Just very quickly, Mr Mayor, just a grammatical thing, if we can just replace again, receive with prepare, if you're happy with that at the start.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
motion.
Any other councillor wish to speak? Okay, councillor Northworthy?
Yeah, I think you and I, Mr Mayor, may have duplicated our work slightly. I'm not sure if there's anything in mind that isn't in yours. So it might be worthwhile for me to withdraw it. So this is 10.18 I'm talking about. Just double checking. I think the only thing I might suggest, the designated parking and drop-off zones. So something I saw when I was up in Brisbane recently is very specific. So let's say outside Homebush train station, that's the only place they can be dropped. So I don't know how to tighten that language up. Maybe just to say like in Brisbane, to be honest, they painted them, which is probably not what we're looking for. But designated parking is pretty good. I feel like it needs to be a bit more specific. Maybe strictly designating.
I think, you know, when we come back, maybe have more details.
Yeah, I think the GM wanted to
Include.
Through you, Mr Mayor, the language used in terms of designated parking, I think that captures the intent of what you're after. So you're after a specific spot.
Yeah.
So effectively, only designated spots throughout the LGA are where you can park these.
Especially train station.
Bikes, for example. If they're dropped off somewhere else, they effectively can't turn them off.
Yeah.
They keep charging. So that language for us would capture that.
I might.
Excuse me, haven't.
Well, I thought he interrupted me, to be fair, but.
You asked him to do that.
Ask first, right? If not, you know, I put the.
Personal.
Oh, wait.
All right, councillors, okay. Still,
Well, yeah, I tried to set up, you told me not to.
Okay.
So,
okay.
so I wonder if talking about designated parking and drop-off zones, if we also highlight high traffic areas like the train stations, the university, for they're high risk areas where people are dropping them wherever. So maybe parking or drop-off areas focusing on high traffic areas. Such as train stations, educational institutions, and that's probably it. There was a seminary that kept using it. I think that they've ended that. So
I think it was the nuns.
yeah, it was.
I think this one is fine for me. And Councillor Barry?
Yes, look, I agree with Councillor Nosworthy. It's ridiculous that they are being dumped everywhere, and I think having designated zones works. When I briefly lived in the Northern Territory, Darwin's full of the scooter versions, and rather than having, the problem with having drop-off zones in major areas is that it take you from one place to another. So you can go from Strathfield Station to Homebush Station, for example, or Homebush Shops. The problem is you can't go home, and these are supposed to be route finishes, if you will, and so you can't actually get home on it if the local drop-off place is the train station. So there should also be places like local parks and things that are also drop-off zones. So it doesn't have to be reflected in the motion, but I hope in the report we can reflect something like that. Okay.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, what do you want?
Just a little bit of a response to maybe explain my explain my intention.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the designated spots are at these high traffic areas and elsewhere. You know, if you go into your house and you want to leave it on the verge, we probably do have to think about how we deal with the verge and parking on that. But so yeah, where lots of people parking them, I think we need, that's the area and that's it. Elsewhere in the suburb, park on the verge, make sure you're not blocking, no?
So just to clarify, my point is that I think we shouldn't let people just dump it outside their house. A lot of the mess that we're seeing in Strathfield is that someone's taking it home, dumping it on the verge and walking into their home. What we should be doing instead, which does exist elsewhere, is have that you can't just dump it on the verge, the street corner or somewhere up the road, the local park. These are places where there are designated spots where you can leave it and walk the last 100 or 200 or whatever metres. The issue we're having with dumping is that they're just everywhere because people leave it outside the apartment or the house and walk in. So.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, that's no more debate for this one. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Okay, motion carried unanimously. 10.13. Yeah, 10.13. Can I have a seconder for this one?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Reddy. Any councillor wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Northworthy?
Yeah, I just want to note that obviously there's one crossing nearby. I think we're in the process of planning a crossing further to the east, closer to the corner of the car park and the church there. So this would put a third crossing in about 300 metres. So I'm not sure that's a positive traffic management option. So I think I guess at this point it is only a report, but yeah, it would lead to a lot of pedestrian crossings. Kind of every cross street would have a pedestrian crossing. I'm not sure there's quite that level of pedestrians crossing in those areas. There is some, I have done it with school students, but it doesn't generally seem busy enough to have 3 on a fairly busy road.
Okay, Councillor.
I'd actually like to agree with Councillor Nosworthy. I think that it's maybe premature just because the crossing is going in closer to where the end of Pemberton is, and so there likely could be 4 crossings within a few hundred metres. Some of which that one will be a pedestrian crossing, a zebra crossing, and there's another one which is a traffic light crossing. So maybe we are overkill. Rather than killing this, I think we just amend it so this is sent to the traffic committee to be considered with the other crossings going in.
Yeah, you can amend it.
So just a 5th point that the above be. Oh well, actually, I think it.
It'll go there anyway.
Sorry.
It'll go there anyway.
Doesn't have to. That the above be considered by the traffic committee before, for further, sorry, local.
Transport forum. Mr. Malani, that's.
I know, I'm chair, yeah.
Cheers.
Because of my other stuff, perfect, I'm okay with that, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I accept the amendment. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. We are going to the 10.14. Yeah, and can I have a seconder for this one?
Seconded.
Seconded, Councillor Reddy. Councillors, would you now like to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Bramall?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of little things there. Just if we can also prepare a report instead of receive a report. And on the second line, if we can change chair of ponds to chain of ponds reserve. I'll probably just make another little amendment. I don't know, I think it was a term before you were here, Councillor, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We did look at this matter. So I just want to add a couple of extra points just to hopefully speed up things a little bit. So point 5, the council look at any previous report which investigated a similar proposal. And point 6, the council note local opposition to amenities, e.g. toilet facilities at this location. So I think, if you recall, Councillor Pensabini, you were on the council back then, and there was another councillor who's unfortunately no longer with us, who was crowned the Queen of Toilets in the LGA. The residents were up in arms about this. They didn't want toilet facilities near their properties, and with the barbecue facilities, there was a particular reason about the electricity. I can't recall, it was a long time ago, that it was actually very, very expensive to get it there from the road or something like that. So I think if we look back at the past, it's always a good way to see what couldn't happen before, and we can save our staff's time. So
Thank you, Councillor.
those amendments, Mr. Mayor?
I can accept the amendment.
Thank you.
Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, 10.15. Can I move on? Councillor Northworthy, seconded by Councillor Pensabini. Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Northworthy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, this is based off some work done, I think, by Parramatta Council. They made this.
That's a good benchmark.
Councillor, order.
And their
Sorry, Councillor.
and their colleagues at the WSOC, I think it is. Yeah, there's more than they just happened to be the closest that I looked up first. So.
Apologies, Councillor.
My apologies, I didn't think to look at Blacktown as well, who are also doing a great job here. They had a target 2030. They're on that target. I think only this year they bought about 40 hybrid vehicles on top of their, I want to say 40, I don't have the number in front of me, EV vehicles. So these are the Ranger passenger-sized vehicles, obviously readily available for consumers, also readily available for council. So the idea is, as our vehicles age out of usage, that we replace them with more efficient, less polluting vehicles, and we kind of lead the way on reducing our pollution across the area. There's an estimate, and I think actually, sorry to mention Parramatta again, don't want to trigger you. They saved about $3,000 per year on running costs of those cars due to lower maintenance and lower fuel use. And any capital costs difference, or the majority of, was covered by various grants. So they've ended up financially ahead as well as environmentally ahead. So hopefully it's something we can slightly slower than them because we're starting a little bit later, but get on that pathway to reducing our pollution of our vehicles.
Thank you, Councillor. Can I make an amendment to this motion?
I'll see what it is.
Okay. I love to amend it the point 1A. At the last sentence, last words, the electric vehicle, take off the dot and put the comma and plus the hybrid cars.
The council has a policy for hybrid cars.
We here not just go everything to the electric car, EV cars. We include the hybrid cars.
Oh, right, sorry, I misunderstood.
Okay, Councillor, do you accept the amendment?
I do, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Councillor Brett.
Point of order, I think we've made a grammatical error. If we just read it, maybe we can clarify what it actually means. Vehicles to electric vehicles, comma, hybrid cars. Should be and. Or, etc.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that looks more clear. All right, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensabini, Councillor Chai. Okay. Against? Councillor Bramall, Councillor King, Councillor Baradi, and Councillor Reddy. I declare the motion was lost.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. They were speaking while you were just then.
Councillor, I give you last warning. If you.
Can I just ask a question, please, Mr. Mayor?
Sorry?
Can I just ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Does Councillor Bellardi think that I'm here just to upset this meeting?
No, I think, everybody responsible for their own behaviors. I think, in the council meeting, I prefer everybody.
Councillor Bellardi pick up.
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Let me finish
speaking
before.
while you were speaking
I'm dealing with her now. Can you please sit
I have
down?
a point of order which you're not
Can you
dealing with.
please sit down?
I have a point of order you're not dealing with. The point of order has to be dealt with before I sit.
I'm dealing with
There's a
that now.
conversation going on that is not in the agenda. There are questions being asked that are not your responsibility to answer. My point of order is that we are out of order. You have to rule on that, Mr. Mayor.
I'm ruling that. Can you please sit down?
Okay? I'm waiting for your ruling on my point of order.
That's my ruling, okay? I don't want
Is
to
what, Mr. Mayor? What is your ruling?
wait until, I'm on my way, okay? Okay, I prefer listen, okay? Don't talk to next door, next to you, okay, the person? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the deputy's been speaking to you all night.
All right. All right, next one, 10.16.
Outdoor chairs and tables.
Can I have the mover? Councillor Northworthy, can I have seconder? Councillor Barty. Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Barty.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm happy to second this motion, but I will be voting against it. I have spoken with Councillor Nosworthy offline about this matter, and it is more complicated than what is being suggested, and happy to co-sponsor something in the future that deals with this more appropriately. But it is a significant issue. There is a massive lack of communication between this organisation and the businesses who operate every day in this place. I think we need to do better to talk to them and to deal with them. There's a further motion coming up that will also deal with this issue. Not this particular issue, but that broad issue of communication. I think council can do a lot better. The issue is that with our current operations and the current plan that we have when it comes to cleaning, this won't actually be possible because of the way that does occur. So I'll be voting against this, but I am supportive of the idea of doing more in this space and happy to co-sponsor something in the future that will deal with this issue.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just maybe a random context, not random entirely. Part of the complaint was from the business in question that obviously line bikes are taking over our sidewalks, and they, at the moment, can just remain there unimpeded. So there's a bit of a complaint, there's a bit of a mismatch between what a business is allowed to do and what line bikes, or whatever description that is of a business or an organisation. And a bit of frustration with that they've recently been told to start dealing with their furniture in a different way, and then almost at the same time, not quite, that line bikes are taking up space as well, and there's kind of nothing we can do. So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Blighty. Obviously, it's something we can probably bring to our next meeting. But, Councillor Blighty, apologies. But, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Councillor Kim's asleep again.
Is that?
Oh, she's all right. Sorry.
What's your point of order?
So, point of order, Councillor Kim was asleep.
No.
Resolved. It's been resolved. I withdraw the point of order.
Councillor, okay.
Just a question to the Mayor. Can we just get some clarification as to whether or not that is a point of order to the relevant other governance? Or thank you.
Can I ask Councillor Bramwell which item or in the code of meeting practice,
I'll withdraw the point of order.
Thank you.
Moving on.
No.
Just go forward.
Okay, I don't need to answer now. Okay, councillors. Okay, I put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillors, that's not funny.
Might as well
You were
withdraw.
laughing, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, 10.16.
Okay, 10.16, I put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Pensabini, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Bremo. Against? Councillor King, Councillor Bernardi, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Tsai. I declare motion no. The item 10.17. Can I have mover, can I have seconder?
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. Continuously during the noms, they're asking for a mover. There's already a mover. They might have to articulate it, but you could look to that person. I will second this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Northworthy, I could speak for your motion.
Yeah, just some amendments. The first word, if I could remove provide and change it to allow. And remove the word with, allow businesses, yeah. Am I allowed to speak to it as well? Yeah. Similar to the previous one, obviously rates have had a significant impact on some of our businesses, and they're finding they also have to pay a substantial amount to use an A-frame to advertise their business. I think it's reasonable for one A-frame outside of business. There's other businesses that have multiple that maybe, you know, I guess if they're willing to pay the higher 2025, 26 fees, then that's their prerogative. I have noticed some issues with kind of path blocking and whatnot, which I understand is part of the reason we do want to register them and charge them. I also want to note that Burwood actually has like an itemised list of businesses that have A-frames registered. That might be something worthwhile to keep an eye on, especially if we're providing discounts on the first one, that we still want to know where they are, and you know, residents, if they have an issue, can check that reference list and see if it's registered, and if not, we can report it to council and
I can answer your question. Burwood is not allowed A-frame outside.
I checked this recently. So there's a very small number. There's like 15 businesses that are allowed to have them. But you're right. Otherwise, they're basically banned. So it's not currently in the motion, but I sense it's about to change anyway.
Just to amend this, Mr. Mayor, I just think we shouldn't charge for them whatsoever. And so I'd like to make an amendment, if the mover is okay with this, to provide the first A-frame, or the first two A-frames free of charge. The first A-frame free of charge. And the policy to apply to additional A-frames, if that could be reflected. I'll just wait. The first frame to be free of charge. And the following policy to apply to additional A-frames. And the existing policy to apply to additional A-frames, because this is actually what's below that is trying to amend it. So, and then just delete 1 and 2. So that's free, and then additional ones is the policy that with the costs and whatnot.
Can I check with General Manager whether in Strathfield Council we allow A-frame outside or anywhere? Is your limitation?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so businesses can apply to have an A-frame currently, and you set the policy, so you can allow them to, or not allow them to have an A-frame.
Thank you.
You can have a free A-frame.
Can't wait for it. Yeah, the whole street is lined with A-frames.
It started getting charged.
Look, fantastic.
Everyone can talk except me.
Councillor King, yeah.
Just to support amendment, I'm only running business in Complaint Council, my office there, and I'm using A-frame, not
Not to charge. Okay, thank you for your comments. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand.
Just a point of order, Mr. Chair. This is the
amendment.
This is the amendment, Mr. Mayor. Just a point of order to clarify from you.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed these steps. Can I check with the mover and the seconder whether you accept the amendment or not? Okay, in that case, you are now put the motion to the vote. All those, all those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Northworthy, Councillor King, Councillor Baladi, and Councillor Reddy. Councillor Chai against. Councillor Bramore, Councillor Sabini, I declare motion carried.
Look at next week.
And next one is 10.18. Councillor, okay, talk to me when you are ready. Councillor Northworthy, are you going to withdraw your motion?
Yes, please, Mr.
18. Thank you, Councillor. Okay, 10.19, so now we got the mover is okay, can I have seconder for this one? Councillor Pensapini? Worthy, yes. Councillors, does any councillor wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Northworthy, you are the mover. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a minor complaint that was passed to me about having to go back on the portal and, battle it as they felt they had to. So maybe reducing the frequency of that would be suitable as well. I think obviously with the ever-changing sands of our parking regime, it might be less popular now. So perhaps it doesn't need again to be renewed quite as frequently as it did when this policy first came in.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other councillor wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor
I'd like to move an amendment, but before I do, I'll just speak to the point. I totally agree with Councillor Nosworthy. In particular, I think that the process itself of making the application or whatnot is long and arduous. In fact, it's so complicated, we had to have free support sessions at the library to help people get it done. And even then, we still have, and had at the time, plenty of complaints. So I think we should amend it to say 3 years rather than 2 years. I don't think 2 years is, I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue there. I think, I'm tempted to go further, but I think 3 years is probably more appropriate. And after 3 years, it lapses, and if you don't live in the area anymore, well, you don't get to reapply. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
That's an amendment.
Do you accept that?
Are you accept the?
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor.
I just think it should be a continual, and you don't have to reapply unless there's a change of address or a change of phone number or a change of number plate.
Councillor Northworthy, are you going to agree that?
Yeah, I don't think we have that information, so I think when they reapply, they prove they're still living here, and I don't think we know when they move out necessarily, so they could just move out, not tell us, and then, let's say, 10 years or whatever, made up number.
They come and park here.
Yeah, so I think, it's making sure that there is a bit of attrition when they do move away, that they do lose their permit, and maintain it for residents.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Okay, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensapini, Councillor King, Councillor Baladi, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Choi. Against? Councillor Bremo. I declare motion carried.
Okay.
10.20.
I'll second it.
You second?
I move, yeah.
I'll second it.
Yeah. Councillor King, are you going to speak for your motion?
When I make this motion, I thought I saw other councils, big councils, they have a council flag too. And sometimes we have other diplomat come visit our community or our commemoration event, that we can raise another flag. That's why I said 2 more extra flagpoles when necessary.
Thank you, Councillor Bremo.
Look, Councillor Kim, I do really think that you should withdraw this motion. I don't think you understand the significance of that memorial in front of the chambers. That's an Australian War Memorial. These protocols around it. From my understanding, what I've looked up briefly, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, but basically by raising official flags, like other nations that are recognised by Australia, by doing this without any relevance to the specific military campaign or the commemoration of this, violates the historical and solemn intent of this site. Okay? War memorials and commemorative services generally restrict flag displays to Australian national flag, flags of the recognised allied nations involved in the conflict, the host nation's flags, if the memorial is overseas, state or territory flags, the Aboriginal flag, Torres Strait Islanders flag, Defence Force flags. So displaying a random or irrelevant flag is considered improper, as the space is dedicated to the historic context of the war and the service personnel who lost their lives. So I ask you to withdraw this motion because it is an Australian War Memorial and it's very disrespectful.
Can I ask, because through the mayor or through the general manager, because I was not aware of this one, so I'd like to ask whether this is really what Councillor Blackmore is right. I want to know.
Thank you, Councillor.
Just read it out.
So through you, Mr Mayor, if the motion were to be adopted, I can't answer that question right now. We would be doing it in line with the relevant protocols for the site. We'd have to look into that further.
Thank you, Tim. General Manager. Any other, yeah, Councillor Baladi?
I'd just like to move an amendment, Mr Mayor, that becomes 3 flagpoles rather than 4.
We have existing 2, so install.
So installing 1 more. And that, I'm just reading.
No. You could install 3 additional flags pole.
No, it says install lighting, sorry.
It should be
install 1 additional, yeah.
Total is 3.
So total 3. Install lighting to all 3, and then the third point being the Australian flag, the New South Wales state flag, and the council flag. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Northworthy.
Well, first, I guess, does the mover accept?
Can you stand up, please?
Does the mover accept the amendment? Sean?
Second mover, yes.
Do you accept the amendment?
Yeah, yes, accepted.
Thank you.
You want? No?
Councillor King,
Yes.
ask me.
It's your
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, because...
Councillor King, stand up.
Mayor, because I wasn't sure about whether this will be,
I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up, it's Councillor Kim.
So whether I want to maybe withdraw this one, for next time we can discuss better, because both, no,
Good motion.
If I
oh, very hard.
Councillor King, do you finish? Councillor King? Thank you. Oh, yeah. GM, just remind me, are you going to withdraw the motion or you keep it?
Because, I don't know.
You just put them in according to...
Because I really want to know exactly who is right.
Let her finish, okay.
So I want to really know what is the right protocol of this flag in front of a war memorial in the council. So then we can make again the motion, I think.
Then make a decision. Okay, Councillor
I would
Baladi.
just speak to make, to satisfy that worry, a 4th point,
Wait until...
just a 4th point to add, just so that it's not in contravention of any rules, is a 4th point to add that this is done in accordance to any state or federal protocols or guidelines, so that we can't go ahead with it unless it is lawful.
So it's okay to stay, right? The policy?
Okay to go ahead, you mean?
Okay. Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Blackmore, Councillor King, Councillor Baladi, and the Councillor Reddy, and the Councillor Chai against. Councillor Pensapini, Councillor Northworthy, I declare motion carried. Okay, LC 3. Can I move it?
I'll move it.
Okay, can I have a seconder?
A second.
Okay, Councillor Kim.
Oh,
Councillors,
did I call that one out?
now like to speak?
Yes.
Yes, I just,
Councillor, sorry?
I want to talk about it.
Not yet. You know, Councillor Lady, are you going to speak for your motion? No, okay. Councillor Pensabini,
Not now. It's not my motion.
are you going to speak for the motion?
Yes, it's a report.
Yes, it's really report.
Yes, I'm going to speak to it, and I don't agree that we should be taking the remuneration increase because our rates have gone up significantly and our businesses' rates have gone up significantly. And I know through friends of mine who look after a lot of the businesses in Strathfield have said that they're 3 months behind on their rent. So they're struggling.
Yeah.
Everyone's struggling. And I think if we take it, and it's only a very small remuneration, it would just not look good. So I think it's best if we vote against this.
All right. Thank you, Councillor. You are very generous.
I am.
Yeah, Councillor Parag.
So I think the great Kerry Packer once said to a committee of federal parliamentarians that something along the lines of that there should be a rule in place that any politician who votes for a budget that goes into deficit or creates more debt should be ineligible for re-election. I think we should try and hold ourselves to those very high standards, and so I agree with Councillor Pensabene.
Thank you, Councillor. I now put a motion to the, yes? Anyone want, any
to make
councillor wish to speak for?
I think we have to make an
Oh,
amendment.
true. Otherwise we just
So the amendment is, that we do not, where do you put the amendment?
Adjusted fees.
So make number 3, include adjusted fees? No. Fix the annual fees for councillors and
we maintain as number 2.
Continue with the current.
maintain. So maintain the annual fees for councillors and the mayor at the maximum allowed amount and take out number 3.
Can I just speak to
Sorry, Miss General Manager.
Councillor?
Can I, through you, Mr Mayor, can I suggest, as you're doing, but maintain the annual fees for councillors and the mayor to be set at the same rate that were determined for the 25-26 financial year,
You have to remove the second point.
and then remove the
Three.
second point.
No, we're editing
The second half of it.
Yeah. And number 3, there's not adjusted fees because the fees are going to be the same. It's got here, include the adjusted fees. Oh, God, maintain the annual fees. So number 3's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Reddy, are you accept the?
Yep.
Councillor King? Do you accept the?
Just let's get it right here.
So you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Yeah. And David's still trying to.
Oh.
Let's just get that right first.
Large council.
Small council.
Can I ask something?
Large.
Can I ask?
You can ask a question.
Question.
Might have let you.
Ask the mayor. Don't ask me. I'm not allowed to talk.
Through the mayor, if we maintain annual fee for councillors for 2005 small grant category, how much you can save?
$5,964.
I think the rate is 3.7%, and then you can multiply, you know, with your amount.
Will we have so much help for our resident? Can we make use of this one to the resident or no?
It's only $5,000 approximate will save per year for the whole year.
6,000.
That's
We
it.
don't talk about the residents.
10,000.
We don't talk about remuneration.
Councillors save 1,000 also. right? Plus mayor, maybe more
Plus
money.
the mayor's 4%, yeah.
Roughly about 10,000, okay.
That's it.
Did we vote?
No, not voted.
Oh, haven't voted yet.
Can we still talk?
All right, councillors, there's no more debate for this report, okay?
I already asked.
You want to speak?
Oh, nobody put their hands up.
He asked for,
Okay.
Look, you know, I don't know, people think it's a bad look, you know, politicians wanting to get pay rises and remuneration. But this is extremely, the amount that a councillor makes and the amount of sacrifices a councillor make, you know, every month for the pittance that we earn, most residents, when you actually tell them what a councillor makes, they think councillor's a full-time job, which sometimes it can be at certain times. And I just think, like, we want to attract decent people to local politics. You know, Councillor Pennsylvania, I'm sorry, I know you put it up, but you've talked about having more younger women and things like that over the years into this sort of thing. If we're, you know, reducing the remuneration, which, you know, my calculation was that it would be just over $2,000 a month for a councillor before tax. Well, you know, it's peanuts. It really is peanuts when you compare it, and I'm not having a crack, I'm making a direct comparison, but when you compare it to the salaries of some of our staff, and I know they're full-time employees and it's very different, but you don't implement it now to save $71 a month, I think it was, per councillor. It's the people in the future who actually then are behind the eight ball and behind other councils. So how are we going to attract decent people? If anything, we should, as councillors, as a council body, actually be pushing for better remuneration for the mayor. The mayor's job, I've done it, you've done it, Councillor Pennsylvania, Councillor Bellardi's done it, and I'm sure Councillor Kai, his term's almost finished. It does become a full-time job.
Election is not coming yet.
Election, mate, that's not an election pitch, Councillor Kai, asking for more money. What I'm saying though, it is a full-time gig, and it can be 6-7 days a week, and we actually should be lobbying the Office of Local Government and the Minister to actually say that there should be better remuneration so we can actually have better people on councils. Like I've seen, 10 years, Councillor Bellardi mentioned earlier that I've, a quarter of my life on this council. I've seen some really good councillors, and I've seen some really terrible councillors. So I think limiting the amount of income someone can earn to do this role is actually really, really silly, and I'll be voting against it.
Is Councillor ready?
Okay, councillors, there is two things. One, being politically correct and looking good and being honest to yourself. It's 3.7 is not much, just to prove I'm right, I'm on the right side, or I'm sacrificing, or I'm doing a charity now. I have a full-time job where I work 5 days a week, and this is my second job, and I don't think it pays enough, and I read a lot of papers. I will be voting against it because I feel fair pay in everything. Councillors, it's not a voluntary job, it's not something I'm doing it. I do need compensation, but it's not. The council have a very big budget and it makes no sense. We are making others to putting peer pressure and making the decisions which are not right, which are not financially feasible, or it doesn't make big difference to the council's budget as well. I'll be voting against it.
Yes, Councillor King, are you going to speak?
Yeah.
For or against?
Yeah, for against this amendment. I will compare. I respect her intention.
Yes.
I'd like, I also
Maybe that gets.
I understand it.
Oh, okay, yes, it's not amended, not amended.
Councillor Lady, are you going to confirm that this is you accept the amendment?
For it.
Councillor Lee?
Allowed to talk.
I
What's going on,
accept,
guys?
I've no idea. Point of order, Mr. Mayor, I don't think anyone knows what's happening right now.
Why is someone singing that? What is that?
Sorry.
I
Disorderly.
Oh, excuse me, councillors, can I get the general manager to explain what's happening now?
Yeah.
I think it's important just to probably help councillors understand where we're at in dealing with this item. What's before you right now is actually the motion, okay? So, just raising a concern because Councillor Reddy and Councillor Kim, you are the mover and seconder of the motion, but you've indicated you're voting against the motion. So, I just think you need to be, this isn't an amendment. Yeah.
Not an amendment.
It's not an amendment, this is the motion. So this is, if you proceed with this, this is what you'll be voting on. Unless there's another amendment.
You're told to stand.
Councillor
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
Thank you. Councillor Bramall, will you explain?
Can I move an amendment? So move it as it was first written, and then add a further point. So point 4. That at the next briefing/workshop,
Vote for it to then become the motion.
Okay.
that councillors' expenses.
Sorry, can I jump?
Excuse me. You will
Through you, Mr. Mayor, you're not allowed to hold briefings or workshops for matters that are on the agenda.
So,
Change to
Timothy?
the relation, you could bring it back to the strategy and policy.
Okay, we'll do that one, yep. Whatever.
Moving really big.
Yep, the councillors' expenses, whatever, expenses policy be brought forward for a review in comparison to state and federal awards. Relevant comparison to relevant state and federal awards. That's like a public servant award or something.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that's going to be almost impossible to achieve because we'll have to finalise the report by the end of this week. So I would suggest that we'll be unable to meet that.
A different deadline, yeah?
August.
Is it August enough?
Yep.
At the August strategy and policy.
All right, can I have the seconder for the amendment?
I'll second it.
Councillor Reddy, second it. All right, councillors, I now put the amendment to the vote. Are those in favour, please raise your hand.
Amendment, Esther.
Amendment. Esther.
Councillor Bramall, Councillor Reddy,
Councillor Kim, yeah, she raised already.
Up or down?
Maybe the councillor can decide.
Councillor King, and Councillor Tsai against, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensavini, and Councillor Baladi. Okay, I declare motion, the amendment carried.
So that becomes the motion.
That will be part of motion, yes.
The amendment or?
The outcome's here.
Amendment.
All right. The motion, the second is still the same, right?
So it's now the motion.
Yeah. All right, councillors, okay, we now, the amendment can, the motion, now we come back. Councillor Baladi, I'm the question answerer. I will answer the question, not you.
Sorry. I've not said anything.
All right. Councillors, the amendment become the motion. Now, I put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Bremo, Councillor Reddy. Against? Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensapini, Councillor King, Councillor Baladi, Councillor Sai. Declare the motion lost.
I'm sorry. I really didn't know.
You don't know what's going on, obviously.
Okay, CCS1. Can I have a mover for this one?
I'll move it.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I just have a question in terms of, now that it's been, that previous motion's been voted against, does it just continue as it was last year? Because I think we have no determination now. Governance is not in.
Need you to answer
All right,
this.
good work, Councillor King.
Councillor Pensabene.
Councillors, okay. Yeah.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so the resolution that you passed this time last year will continue to stand at the current rate.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we are going to CCS1. I think this is the important one. Sandy Reddy, mover. Can I have a seconder for this one? Deliver program and operation.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Bremo.
Sorry, I withdraw my seconder from that.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay.
Councillor Reddy, are you seconding the motion?
No, it's not my motion.
Councillors, does any other councillors wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Northwood?
It's exciting to see we're in the rate freeze era. I was noodling around with some numbers, looking at what was going on. So the business ad valorem rate has gone up, looks like 56%, so a long way from a rate freeze. That covers about 200 of our 400 round up general businesses. So obviously some of our councillors, including myself, were emailed about a business that had looked like 70% increase in their rates, and had some complaints about that. Unfortunately, for this kind of business, that's going to continue into the next year, and that's an unfortunate version of a rate freeze that we were promised, almost 2 years ago. We have similar, obviously the ad valorem for our residential rates is a bit less widespread across our LGA, but it is, again, looks like going up 29%. So there are significant rate increases in this report, and again, I feel sorry for the people that voted for rate freeze and very much didn't get what they were promised.
Thank you, Councillor Barry.
Mr. Mayor, I think this is the fourth, maybe fifth example tonight of Councillor Nosworthy building a speech around a false premise. I just wanted to clarify, he's thrown around a lot of numbers around tonight, quite laughable numbers. Just want to ask the General Manager to clarify some of those points if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Correct the record.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, so this year is actually a difficult year for you to compare the ad valorem rate from last year to what's proposed for next year, to draw that comparison. So you've got to remember that when rates are increased, it's the overall bucket that's increased. So the total rates has increased by 7.5%, which is in line with the approved IPART determination for this council. When you're looking at rates this year, though, we have had what they call the general land revaluation that's gone through. So what's happened across the LGA is that rates have moved, land values have increased significantly. Okay, so Strathfield will be one of those areas that's had a significant increase in land values. What that does is it changes that ad valorem rate because the multiplier that is land value is now significantly higher. So whilst comparing the rate and the dollar might appear as though there's a 56 or 60% increase, the actual rates collected from those business categories has still only gone up by 7.5%. Now, there might be some winners and losers in that, because some businesses' land value may have gone up at a higher rate than the average for all businesses. So those that have gone up by more than the average will see a higher increase than 7.5%. But there will probably be some winners also. So those where land values haven't gone up by as much as that average, their rate won't have gone up by 7.5%. Some businesses and some residents may have actually even seen a decrease in that. So I think you've just got to factor in that there has been a general land revaluation. It does throw the cat amongst the pigeons, and it makes it a little bit difficult to interpret based on pure ad valorem rate in the dollars.
Thank you, General Manager. Any other debate for this one? Yep, Councillor.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to ask Councillor Blighty for the email I think you were part of, how we explain what happened to that particular business with you know, they're just looking at the number on their bill that went up 70%. Obviously they may have been one of these losers. But the floor is yours, sir. What happened to them in the rate freeze when their rates went up significantly?
Again, I think there's some sort of weird, erotic obsession of Councillor Nosworthy's with fibs. You know, he loves telling stories that aren't actually true. Just a point of order against Councillor Pensacilla, speaking while I'm speaking. Thank you. You know, Councillor Nosworthy has this strange obsession with spreading things in the community that just aren't true. I mean, the General Manager, I know it was a little bit complicated, maybe didn't fully understand, has just explained why there's this discrepancy. Homebush West, for example, has almost all gone down in value, which was presented to us not long ago. The councillor doesn't really care about all that, though. He just likes trying to score political points, which is fine. But you know, who loses? Well, it's members of the community. So, you know, I commend Councillor Nosworthy's consistent approach towards lies, and it's in line with these political parties movements as well.
He's accusing me of lying without any evidence.
He's a point of order, Mr. Mayor.
I just find out, you know,
I believe it's uncounciled conduct. We're just throwing out that someone's telling lies. When he's received the same email as me, he hasn't answered the question. He hasn't answered the question. I posed him a question. He's just accusing me of lying. I'm not aware of the exact
contents of your
uncounciled conduct. If you'd like to check where that is, I welcome you.
Well, tell me.
I'm asking you.
Tell me.
You run the meeting.
The code of
Okay, so rephrase it. Is it okay to stand up and just accuse other councillors of lying without evidence, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, that's a point of order. That wasn't a point of order. It was also an interruption of what I was trying to say, which is that the council has lied to this council, to the public.
We're okay with that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. Or those?
Procedure doesn't do homework.
Mr. Mayor, I believe it's 6.9.
Okay, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand.
What's the report? Oh.
Against?
I think we have to vote against.
Okay.
Hang on, start
Hang on. I'll start again. Okay. Okay. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand.
CCS1.
Yes. CCS1. Councillor Blighty. Councillor. Excuse me, Councillor. I need. Put a hand or don't put a hand. Okay. All right, councillors, this is a very important issue. I think I'm going to adjourn the meeting for 10 minutes, and then we come back for this matter.
10 minutes.
Okay, councillors, we come back to the item CCS1. And I now put a motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Pensabini, Councillor King, Councillor Baradi, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Bremo. I declare the motion was carried. Is carried. Okay, small grants, CCS 2.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I need to leave for this one.
Okay.
Conflict.
Anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? Oh. Thank you, Stephen.
See you, Stephen.
Okay, councillors, can I have a seconder for this motion? Councillor Pensapini? Moved by, yeah. Hello, councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion?
No.
No, okay. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And declare motion was carried unanimously. We are going to CCS 4.
Time out policy procedure.
Yes.
293.
Can I have mover for this one?
I'll move it.
Can I have seconder? Councillor Pensapini? Hello, councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? If not, I put motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Pensapini, Councillor King, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Tai against? No, hang on. Are we going to wait for the?
No, if he's gone, gone.
No, not for this one.
Who called that one out? Who called that one out?
If somebody's not there, you stating.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, I call, okay, again,
Start again.
CS4.
I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
CCS4.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same motion, what we talk about. Okay, CCS 4, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensapini, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Taik. Against? Councillor Bradmore, Councillor King, and Councillor Baradi. I declare the motion carried. Okay, CCS 5. Can I, I'm gonna move this one. Can I have a seconder for this one?
I'll second it.
Councillor Reddy? Yeah. Councillors, does any of you wish to speak for or against this motion?
Yes. I'd like to make an amendment on this motion. We keep hearing that council has no money and we want to save money. So, my amendment will be that council freeze all grants within this policy for the rest of this council term.
Ready? Are you accept? Hang on a sec. Are you accept the amendment?
No.
No. Okay. No. Cindy is
I'll
not.
second the amendment.
Is there a seconder?
Oh, okay.
And if I could just ask the councillor, now that we're debating the amendment, if I
Okay.
could add something else, which is just an exemption, to say, so that would be, just a second point there, to say, organisations seeking a grant will be eligible upon approval from council in extraordinary circumstances.
Yes, I'll accept that.
Just in case.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor?
It's,
I don't think the second, the,
it's contradictory to point 1 and point 2. When you say freeze all grants, and then again you're giving an exemption. Both the points are
I
contradictory.
didn't think you accepted the amendment though, councillor Reddy.
For the amendment, does it need mover second to agree or just vote it?
Except, you have accepted or something like that.
Accepts that addition,
Councillor,
Accepted his addition.
and then you.
Exception.
Yeah.
when you say all grants, it's small grants, other annual grants, everything.
Yes. And they can apply for just talk to council.
Councillor Beladi.
Okay, I get the general manager to explain.
Can I just get a clarification, because part of the original motion is dealing with the policy. Are you not having a policy around those grants for extraordinary circumstances, or?
No, so in the extraordinary, so extraordinary circumstances being, you know, they could say, we would like X number of dollars. I can edit it to try and make it sound more clear. Organisations seeking a grant were eligible for approval from council extraordinary circumstances, comma, given they provide a reason and an amount and a determination will be made at a council meeting. There's a policy.
Thank you, Councillor. For the general manager.
Through you, Mr Mayor, if I could, a suggestion might be if the councillors wanted to freeze the grants, but in order for us to determine what would be extraordinary, we bring back a policy to a next meeting, which in theory then would have to go on public exhibition as well. But you'd freeze them in the meantime and then you'd go through that policy process to address point 2. I think the policies above don't address point 2. They address a full program. So you wouldn't be able to lean on those policies to determine what's extraordinary. But you would need something in place to determine extraordinary and what comes to council.
Yeah, as determined by councils, yeah. If I could just further amend to say a second sentence after the first, sorry, no, as in, so after be made at a council meeting, council laws are to determine whether the request satisfies, and then in quotation marks, extraordinary circumstances, and if the amount is appropriate.
Yes.
You want me to pay $71 and you want the grants.
One refers to within this policy. We don't actually have a policy that it's within.
All we can do is say, I'm happy just to remove section 2. I was gonna make exceptions for people, but we can just remove it if the.
Yeah,
I think it's.
just remove it. I'll support
I still have a concern about, because we don't have a policy. One.
So council freeze all grants, will remain at the council term, except organisation seeking.
Yeah, Councillor King? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
As I'm a councillor, but as a community
point
leader,
2.
and our community, our councils are making, it is all our, within the budget. Yeah, this is
have a
our
budget.
budget. So the purpose of this, all the grant is so to boosting our community development and helping them. You are saying that all the time we are working for the community and you try to save money and you want to, this is on the budget and this is for really helping our community to grow up and it's beneficial. So I think this is a good budget. We have to keep this one, not the amendment.
I think just, sorry, just,
Can you?
Can I get the general manager's explain?
the budget.
It's in the budget.
If they want the grant, they write to the council, it comes to council.
Ah, I thought you meant to freeze it.
That's what he's saying, the extra
I'm
one.
saying that, he's saying freeze it, I'm saying freeze it, but if they do need money, they can just write to council and we can approve it.
Also, the council would decide.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Mayor. Can we just clarify, because I think councillor Blackmore,
Yeah, I think if,
suggested a change.
within this policy, would remove it?
So, yeah, so delete the words within this policy, and I think you said at the end of that, except for
To add except on the next line in front.
And are we going to keep the second?
Except in front of organisations.
Exception
Yeah.
can be made.
For,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got it.
Sorry, one more. Can I just suggest that, at the beginning of 2, you have subject to any, requirements under the Local Government Act, comma, exceptions.
Just after grant, who will be eligible?
No. Is that, can I ask the mover
Yeah, I
and the
accept
seconder whether to accept the amendment or not?
We accept.
No, I
Just
have
a
one more.
point of order, Mr. Mayor. The mover and seconder originally rejected it, so we're now debating the amendment. That now has to be voted on.
We are dealing with the amendment at the moment.
Yes, and the changes that made there were by myself and councillor Blackmore, so we're the mover and seconder of the amendment. That has to be dealt with, then it either becomes the motion.
That's why I'm asking for the mover and seconder.
So, not councillor Reddy, who pointed out.
I mentioned the mover and seconder, not just Blackmore, okay?
You just spoke already.
Can I talk to again or not?
No, now I put the amendment to the vote, okay?
So there.
Councillors, we vote for the amendment first. Yeah. Okay, councillors, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Blackmore, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensabini, Councillor Brady, Councillor Kim.
No, Kim, no.
No, Kim, Councillor Reddy, sorry.
Ready.
And Councillor Chai, against? Councillor King. I declare the amendment carried.
Becomes the motion.
The amendment became the motion. Thank you.
You didn't give me the question time.
Councillor Big. You already speak for the motion already.
No, question time. You didn't give me the time. Why only once? Everybody has several times. Why me only one time?
You can let it speak now.
Discrimination.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, Councillor, now we go back to the motion. You can speak now for the motion.
You can ask questions now.
This budget, if we implement this budget, do we have any budget crisis, financial crisis in our council?
Which motion you are questioning about?
What?
This is only for the grants policy.
CCS one.
Yeah, this is one.
The budget's already passed, there's a budget there.
There's a
No,
budget.
not budget, but the grant, when we have implement this grant, do we have any financial crisis, I'm asking? No. Why? Oh.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. I think, point of order is required. There is no order.
Should I answer the question?
So, through you, Mr. Mayor, there is a budget allocated in the budget for the purpose of these grants. Is that the question that you're asking?
Yeah, so if we use this grant to our budget, do we have any financial crisis, our council? That's what I'm asking.
Well, we've allocated this funding in the budget that you've just adopted, so that it is provisioned.
So everybody knows about it.
All right, councillors, now we are, any further questions? No? Okay, we come back to vote for the motion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Bremo, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensapini, and Councillor Baladi, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Tsai. Against? Councillor King. I declare the motion carried as well. Okay, councillors, now we are going to P1. Can I have mover for this motion? Can I have seconder? I can second it.
Yeah, I think I put
Because-
Mr. Mayor.
You want to speak?
Yeah, there's just a spelling error on, in the business papers at least, on page 367. It says person canted, I think it's meant to be person centred.
Just wordings, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Any other,
Read it, you know.
yeah, Councillor Bremo?
Yeah, look, I'll be voting against this. I don't, from my understanding, looking on OLG's website, this isn't a mandatory policy that we need to have, and I think we're just having policy upon policy upon policy. So I just think if it's not a mandatory policy, we don't need to have it, so I'll vote against it.
Thank you. Councillor Baladi?
Can I just ask an extension of that point as a question, which is this mandatory, and if not, what's our kind of reasoning for adopting it or putting something together?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it is not mandatory. We belong to the Resilient Sydney group. It's an alliance of 33 councils right across the Sydney Basin. This will form part, this framework will help us prepare for the real challenges that exist that are affecting our community and that have already started affecting our community, including heat waves, storms, flooding, infrastructure disruptions, population growth, housing pressure, social isolation. Like I mentioned, it does align us to the broader Sydney-wide Resilient Sydney framework, and we're building on that. But what this does, it actually helps us tailor it to our local risks and stresses that our community are experiencing. It recognises that we can't do it on our own as a council. We have to have partnerships, and that's why we are part of that alliance. There's 33 councils. We require other not-for-profits, we require other councils to support us in helping our community to become resilient.
Thank you. Councillors, any other questions about this one? Councillor Northworthy?
Yeah, thank you for the detailed explanation, but for councils, I believe that was all in the report, so we would have skipped all that had we read it.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other debate? Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensapini, Councillor Baladi, and Councillor Reddy, Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor Bremo,
Your hand has to go up, I think.
Councillor Kim. I declare motion carried. Now we are going to PE3. I'll move the motion. Can I have a seconder for this one?
Unseconded.
Okay, councillors, does any one of you wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Brady?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to ask our delegate to the organisation, Councillor Nosworthy. We spend $23,000 a year as members of this organisation. The report isn't very clear as to what our residents get out of being members. Can you convince our councillors here that it's worth staying a member of this organisation and explain to us what they actually do?
Thank you, Councillor Blighty. Unfortunately, my tenure as the representative of the Parramatta Catchment Group is very new. I haven't attended a meeting. But as referenced in the previous report, working together with the councils around us is quite important. Many of these things we can't do alone. So Parramatta River obviously plays important roles for the northern part of our LGA. And pollution, various issues that we have, and obviously the wetlands we have that are linked off of that, which, you know, I was down there today, not always in the best shape. We can work together with other councillors, lobby other governments to improve those conditions and make it a nicer environment for all of our residents.
Thank you. Councillor Reddy? Yeah, Councillor Kim?
Because I will have reading. Mayor, I support retaining our membership of the Parramatta Catchment Group. Power Creek is a start from southern part of Strathfield. The annual fee, he worried about annual fee around $23,000 is significant. However, we should see it as investment in the future of Strathfield, not simply as a cost. With the total development, our population will increase substantially. More high-density apartments mean an even greater need for quality green space, healthy walkways, waterways, and connected walking and cycling paths. The Power Creek corridor is already one of our most popular places for residents to walk, cycle, and enjoy nature. We also have the Mason Park wetland, which plays an important role in improving water quality and supporting biodiversity. Leaving the catchment group would send the wrong messages to the residents. I would suggest that we are focusing on short-term savings, not focusing on short-term saving instead of the long-term well-being of our community. Cleaning Power Creek and restoring Parramatta River is not only about protecting birds and wildlife, it is about creating a healthier environment for people, improving public health, increasing recreational opportunities, and living a better Strathfield for future generations. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Is there just a question? If I could just ask the relevant director to explain a little bit more. Clearly, Councillor Nosworthy in his role hasn't taken it very seriously and has fallen short today in explaining why it's all worthwhile. So I'd just like to ask the staff, because Councillor Nosworthy couldn't, to further explain the purpose of membership.
Through you, Mr. the Councillor, the PRCG is probably one of our more significant partnerships across, in anything we're really involved in. They have provided significant support to council staff in developing our litter prevention strategy to a point where having them on our application actually, we were able to receive a significant amount of money. I'll leave it at that. Council are also aware about the Urban Rivers program, which is the rehabilitation of Mason Park wetland. Having PRCG on there and their connection with Sydney Water and a whole range of other councils in the area definitely led to us getting that grant of $1.85 million. It covers about that catchment covers about 266 square kilometres. It's significant. Also has around about 800,000 people in that population. Like I mentioned before, they do a range of things, a lot of master planning and strategic planning for the Parramatta River that we absolutely benefit from. And catchment management plans that come into that, they are a significant driver for the catchment management plans. They also, with our help, started the Get It Right site, Get the Site Right campaign, and that helps us reduce the amount of sediment coming off building sites. That's a significant campaign that they help us with. Without their support, we could never do that. A lot of community education, they provide advanced litter grants and cleaner neighbourhoods. I mentioned the litter prevention, significant amounts of money. I don't think, I can't say the exact amount, but we've got some good news recently about that, so that's a positive thing. Also providing stormwater compliance. We have many neighbours, and by PRCG actually coordinate our neighbours in providing a compliance and a consistent stormwater framework around all of us. So it definitely is something that I would encourage councillors to support, for that I do think we get significant value out of the money that we spend. Thank you for the question.
All right, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. We are going to EO2.
EO2.
EO1 is not out. Yes, I think EO1 is not out. Okay, EO2.
EO2.
EO1 there. EO1 there. EO1 there. Okay. EO1. Can I move over for this one? Councillor Northworthy.
I'll second it.
Okay, Councillor Ready. Councillors, Councillor Northworthy, are you?
Yeah, just a quick question. It's probably a question for a future strategy policy meeting. I was wondering if we could get more information about the contaminated land. Obviously, it's quite a big green area. Obviously, it's contaminated, but I just wonder if we could get a bit more how badly it's contaminated, how long remediation might take, any of those kind of things. It might be on notice, and that's. Yeah, let's go.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I presume you're talking about the Ford site.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have, as part of their consent from a DA way back when they closed that site, which is, I think, it's over 25 years ago. That site, we get a report every year on that from a whole bunch of specialist scientists. It is significantly contaminated. We have spoken to them about potentially looking at different options. Answer, unequivocally no. We have had that discussion, and I'll re-emphasise, it is very contaminated. Yeah.
Councillor.
Can I just say, broadly speaking, I mean, I've been to Nagasaki, where there's a beautiful park in the place of where the atomic bomb hit the ground, and somehow that's been easier to fix than this contaminated former Ford site. I just think, not that it's this organisation's fault, but I think some vision from government could very much turn that into something that is usable. It's a perfect location. I understand the sentiment Councillor Nosworthy is putting forward. I've asked questions in I think even through a former NOM or something as well on this issue. Just a point of order against Councillor Pensabene speaking once more while I was just speaking, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
No, it's okay. You stay.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think that, we should have a vision to turn that one day into sports fields and recreational spaces, but it feels a bit frustrating that there's nothing we can do about it. That's what we keep getting told by the relevant experts.
Councillor, we discussed about this.
Just a point of order, Mr. Mayor. While you were speaking, Councillor Pensabene kept speaking. Thank you.
Councillor Bellardi.
That's a point of order.
You've got something against me.
Good point of order.
I understand
Likewise.
that. I understand that.
Councillors. Yeah, Councillor Northworthy.
I don't want to give you all the science lesson, but it's probably more analogous to a Chernobyl than a nuclear bomb, so maybe
All right, councillors.
Good point.
I teach that lesson every year.
Councillor. You really want me to keep someone out, right?
If it was a hold on fact.
Okay, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. And the EO2, can I move over this one? Councillor Bremo, seconded by Councillor Reddy. Councillor Bremo, are you going to speak for the motion?
I will speak for the motion. Yeah, look, this is another thing that's been talked about for decade upon decade, and nothing ever has happened there. Yeah, so I just want to make a bit of an amendment So just to consider the partial closure of Hudson Lane on portions without driveways. And delete the rest of the sentence.
Just quickly, I'm just going to quickly declare a conflict of interest, non-significant, non-pecuniary significant. I'll leave.
He's gone. Why?
Stay clear.
A family member lives very close to that. We're describing.
Thank you, councillor.
Awkward. Look, basically about half of this section behind these houses, which backs onto the markets, the driveways, my understanding is there, from what I've seen walking down there, is they're gone. There's only the last, I think, 7 houses. So I think that we should consider at least the first stage to close off the part that we have, whether we do anything or not, but maybe just some grass and some seats and some trees or something like that, and the master plan to be a more long-term thing, just to give those residents down there a bit more of a green space. Somewhere to read a book and,
Totally understand.
Recreate.
Thank you, councillor. Any other debate on this motion? Councillors? All good?
Yep. Put it to vote.
Let me check with Kathy. Yeah?
Through you, Mr Mayor, my only concern is we don't currently have budget for this, so that might be something we have to consider through future capital works programs.
Thank you. All right, councillors, I'll put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, now we are going to EO. Oh, Councillor Baladi, you can come back now.
Yeah, minor one. Yeah, just a minor conflict of interest with EO3, sorry, not minor, non-significant, non-pecuniary. I'm part of a team that runs a free Saturday run and walk in Hudson Park.
okay, well, that's one of Jason Lee's
All
achievements.
right, councillor, can I have mover for this one? Councillor?
Excuse me, councillor.
Yeah?
Point of order. Councillor Bellardi's laughing while you speak.
Can I just clarify where that point of order comes from?
Children, serious.
Is that a point of order, Mr Mayor? Can you just
Yes.
clarify? Is that a point of order?
I know, if you want, you can stand up to clarify.
Just to clarify, I mean, it's your decision to make. Has a point of order been called, and where is that reference in the code of meeting practice? Councillor Penabene does a lot more than laugh through while other people are speaking, Mr Mayor. So, pot, kettle, black. Thank you.
All right, councillors. Okay, we nearly finished. Okay, just
Few more minutes.
focus. Yeah. Okay, focus on the motions. Can I move for this one? Councillor Northworthy, seconded by Councillor Sandy. Ready? Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for against the motion? Councillor Northworthy.
Yeah, just a quick one. I think it's in one of the mini maps kind of showing the nighttime illumination. I'm just wondering if there's a consideration for like a kind of whole perimeter path that, you know, it's maybe 2.5 kilometres or something, and, you know, people can go all around that. Because at the moment it's a bit disjointed, so as we're, you know, doing a lot of work, maybe it's worth trying to have a nice perimeter path that just links up existing paths and maybe goes around the golf section, to make it a nice long measured, not necessarily measured, nice long path people could take within the park.
Thank you, Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I have some various concerns with this report, so I won't be supporting it. Firstly, I just want to sort of understand why sort of the process in sort of putting something like this together, noting that there is discussion in and about fine-tuning some of the eventual plans for certain precincts. Why don't we just consider those precincts in their own? Why have we come up with a plan for precincts? That's the first question. And the second part is then looking at page,
16.
I think it's 428 of the agenda. I can't find what number it is in the report itself. But it has a graphic sort of explaining that this plan will come to council for endorsement and adoption, and then from here, master plan begins. There's sort of arrows connecting in both directions between the green and yellow. Does that mean that we refer back to the master plan and we come back to council every time we then master plan? Or I just want to understand how that graph is working, so it sort of seems a bit unclear. Just wanted to ask that question.
Thank you. Thank you, Director.
In relation to question 1, the plan to plan, you are correct. It's a very large park. It has various different components which have already been developed. Plus, we're obviously looking at the golf driving range. Plus, we've got the vacant piece of land at Hudson Park West. So what we wanted to do is just have an overarching view of what we would do in the various sections of the park. But then as we get money and we start to develop particular areas, we'll have more specific master plans. And in terms of your second question, the intent is yes, this is just looking at the overall plan for the park, and then the individual master plans will also come back to council for the further review, further comment and any changes.
Thank you, councillors. Any other debate? Yeah,
Just a question, Chair. Just with this one, through the Chair to the Director. I know it's sort of preliminary thing, but I think there was discussion within the what's the grant or whatever it's called, about the extension of that left turning lane.
With the Sydney infrastructure.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, there were original considerations for the left-hand, an extension of the left-hand turning bay from Arthur Street onto Centenary Drive. There were limitations with that because I think there's the electricity substation, and that was going to be cost prohibitive to the project. I think it was going to be in the order of about $1 million to relocate the substation. So that is in effect a state government initiative, that's a state road. So we decided not to proceed with that as part of the grant funding.
Thank you, councillors. Any other debate about this motion? Councillor? Okay, nearly finished, okay.
Vote for it?
Okay, councillor?
You gonna vote for it?
Yes. Councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Bramall, Councillor Northwood, Councillor Pensabini, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor King and Councillor Barati. I declare the motion was carried. Carried. Okay, now we are going to tell point 2, the report from Strategy and the Policy Committee meeting on 9th of June 2026. Can I move her? Yeah, Councillor. No, okay, Councillor Bramall, and who is the seconder? Seconded by Councillor Reddy. Councillor Bramall, you're going to speak for the.
I am going to speak. I'm just going to add another point.
Councillor Barati.
Before we begin the process of fleshing this all out, I just want to quickly, if I can, speak to an amendment quickly, just to add a third point, which I know will have to be down, but just wherever is possible, yeah. That following the publication / final draft of the Town Centre Master Plan, the Policy and Strategy Committee cease to exist.
Changed again. Changed again.
Change. What do you mean? It's going to get changed again. No, whatever.
What happens?
Can I check with the seconder? Do you accept the amendment? Ready? Councillor? No, but I just want to see it after the, the comes in the committee finishes.
By September.
Yeah. Makes sense.
For September. Changing notice.
No, Sandy and Bremo. That's got to accept.
So we haven't.
Councillor Bremo, you accept the amendment?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And
Thank you. Okay, councillors, okay, I put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor, there hasn't been a speaker for or against yet.
I assume no one is.
He took my turn.
Oh, you said I could.
Yeah, but now it's his turn.
But doesn't mean I lost my turn.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
Councillor Bremo.
Yeah, I've got just a couple of points, and it's stuff that was generally discussed there, and I just want to have it in there, just a note for consideration. So if you put a point 4, but under the, I'll put 4 there is fine. Consideration, and as I'm saying, like something's coming back to us, so I don't know what's happening, but consideration be given to all properties within the Strathfield Town Centre study area, including council's lands. Okay, and then point 5, consideration be given to development of a business case for council leveraging its lands within the Strathfield Town Centre. Just those.
Thank you, Councillor. I will, through the general manager, can I ask the director to build out explanation?
To you, Mr. Mayor. Just thinking about point 4 and 5, consideration be given to all properties within the Strathfield Town Centre. As far as I'm aware, we have taken that into consideration. If council were of the opinion that we hadn't and there needs to be further work done, I would advise council that they would potentially we'd have to go away and get that quoted to do that piece of work, and then we'll have to come back to council for you to give us budget to do that. The budget on that project is at the point now where we need what's remaining to come back and review the draft with the specialists and the consultants, but we would have to get more budget for 4 and 5. We can go away and investigate that and come back to you with a price, but
Yes,
we would require more budget.
Yeah.
You still want to keep it or delete it?
Yes. Keep it, and they can come back to us and tell us what we can and can't do. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Reddy, do you accept the amendment?
Just a question as well, just with Councillor Bilardi's amendment. So just in the current settings and trying to keep up with it, the Strategy Policy Committee ceased to exist after this. Do we have workshops? Do we know what's happening?
We can't have
Do we have
workshops.
briefings? So what would we have?
That's
through the
different.
chair.
Don't have anything, no workshops, no
Through you,
briefings.
through you, Mr. Mayor. In the absence of the Strategy and Policy Committee, you would receive your business papers for the council meeting, and we're unable to discuss those matters that are on the agenda with you. So the rules that existed under the 2025 Model Code of Meeting Practice that the Minister brought in around banning briefing sessions effectively have been brought back into effect as of last Friday. So we won't be able to do any briefing sessions unless they're made available publicly.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Pansapini?
Does that mean, through the chair to the general manager, does that mean we can still ask questions and that can be printed back to us and then residents can see that on the business paper?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, that's correct. So if you have questions about matters that are on the business paper, yes, you put that in writing through me, and that will go to the staff, and then a response will be provided and also published as a report that accompanies the business paper. But they do need to be in writing.
Councillor?
Yeah, I just know in the original recommendation, all this has to come back for the August council meeting, I believe, and the last JRG meeting. Is that feasible with the new considerations, through the chair?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we're planning to come back to the August SPC meeting with the final draft that we'll present to that, or it'll actually come.
July.
No. Option 3 is coming in July. In August, there'll be the final draft that'll come to council for consideration to put on exhibition for 3 months.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if we are to address points 4 and 5,
Oh, no, yes,
it's
sorry.
unlikely that we'll be able to provide you with a draft master plan at the August meeting.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Who's the mover?
Okay, councillors, any further questions or debate for this matter? No, I put this motion for the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Blackmore, I declare the motion carried unanimously. Okay, in 12.3, can I have the mover for this minute?
I'll move it.
And seconder,
Events committee. Events.
Councillor
Me?
anyone going to second for this one?
Sure.
Councillor Northworthy? Okay, Councillor, any of you wish to speak for or against the motion?
It's a report.
If not, I just put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Pensabeni, Councillor King, Councillor Bardi, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Tsai, against. Councillor Bremo, I declare motion carried. Okay, 12.4. I move this one. Can I have a seconder for this one?
I'll second it.
No, Councillor Northworthy. Okay. All right, councillors, does any of you wish to speak for this motion? Councillor Northworthy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just two things. There's a lot of talk about drawing new lines to make sure we fit the maximum amount of cars in car parks along the street. I guess just quickly floating idea, is it possible to turn the half parks that we're avoiding into maybe motorcycle parking, or may I say line bike parking? And the other one was in that drawing of the lines, there's going to be a new pole, I think outside Homebush Primary School, which I would feel ideally we'd like to avoid. It's quite a zigzag with the pram as it is. So they're just my two comments on
Relocating it.
I think we have to move it from a light pole onto its own pole.
Which page you are referring to?
Well, I didn't note down the page, to be honest, but it's in relation to 19 apparently?
Yeah, is that the one outside?
Page 19 of the report. Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
So this, I think we've got to put in a new pole.
Oh, right.
Just an observation.
Councillors, does anyone of you wish to speak for or against the motion?
Just noting. She normally writes it down.
councillors, okay, I now the motion to vote, those in favor, raise your hand. I think the motion carried unanimously. Okay, councillors, there's no public forum these months. So, and there is no question with notice and no matter of urgency. And also there's no confidential matters. Okay. There be no further business. I declare the meeting closed, the time being 9:20 p.m.